So a quick video today to point out sort of a small but I think interesting cultural point. I just went to get some takeout and they gave me this. Two things to note about this. One, I did get my drink in a can instead of a cup. We'll talk about why that might be a little later. But also to note that this does come in a plastic bag that is separate from the one that has the food in it. Now, this is something that is pretty standard practice in China as well. I don't think, even when I went to really tiny little hole-in-the-wall places that did takeout, they always gave me a separate bag for the drink. And probably this may strike you as wasteful. It arguably is. It is also arguably very convenient. Now, one reason, especially in China, they do this is because you don't tend to get drinks with ice in them. So if you're carrying one in your hand, it very quickly approaches body temperature if you have to walk any reasonable amount of space. So having one of these does mean you're a lot more likely to have a cold drink when you get home. It's also very nice in cold weather, though. I don't know if anyone out there has ever carried like a fast food or convenience store drink in your bare hand when the air temperature is around freezing. It becomes uncomfortable and even painful very quickly. Now, the other thing, of course, to note is, as I've said, this is in a can, which is interesting because the place where I got this actually does have a fountain. But this is a thing that really is much more specific to Korea. This is not in China. But when you go into one of these fast food places, you'll see something that's a little bit unusual, which is in the place where you're supposed to bring your tray and dispose of trash, there's also a funnel where you're supposed to pour out any unused ice or any remaining liquid. And the reason they do that is because in a lot of these places, you do not receive a disposable cup unless you are carrying out. And again, even in some cases, you don't, such as this one. And the reason for that is a lot of these places, for people who are eating in, they have hard plastic cups that they can reuse. It's the kind of thing you would see in like a cafeteria back in the States. They wash them, they reuse them. But you do see those in fast food places and casual dining places as well. And again, in some places, they've even almost completely phased out the disposable cups outright, and you just get something in a can like here. So, small but possibly interesting cultural distinction.